Okay, so today is day 9 of me documenting flipping this account here. So today I took one trade. I'll go over the trade. I'll go over what I could have done better. It was a loss, so technically we are 3.4% away from at least break even. And I'll go into the trade. So let me just, yeah, so it was this one here, and it was the NAS USD. I know a lot of people probably caught the second trade here and was probably eating really good. So let me know if you're able to catch the second one in the comments. Now, yesterday on yesterday's video, I showed how I already marked this up. So let's jump straight into it. So last night the alert was working on my phone. I went to bed pretty late. I remember the first alert went off around 3 a.m. So I woke up here. I checked. Nothing was set up there. I got this second alert here for actually no, so 2:45 and then 3 a.m. And then I got this alert at 4 a.m. and I was knackered at this time. And then I set another alert for here and I woke up and I saw that it was breaking out. So I entered, and this was my initial basically position I took. Now, of course, I was sleeping and it basically pinged me out. So stop loss was hit. Now, there was a second opportunity, which was this one here, which was really good. Would have made back the 1% that I lost, and also gained 3%, which would have put me, I think, actually in profit with the overall account. But I was sleeping, woke up around like 10-ish. By the time I woke up, it was already taken off, so I didn't want to chase it and ended up, I didn't want to, because when I woke up, it was around here. So I didn't want to do something like this just for the sake of chasing it, which technically, it still would have given me a one R trade, but I didn't want to I didn't want to chase it, right? And then the other trade, which I mentioned yesterday, that I'm gonna be documenting my scalps as well. So let me just go through. So these were my alerts. So you can see I have an alert here for the scalp on the demo account, and I have an alert here for the buy limit on the actual FTMO 70K challenge account here. So so before I talk about the scalp, let me get rid of this. Hold on. So that's the scalp, right? So on the daily, oh man, I knew that this was gonna set up so nicely. And it's funny because Sci was even talking about this, which helps. But yeah, I mean, what so with the CCT, right? Yesterday, very clear break above this range. And then once again, it's our bread and butter. We're just waiting for it to tap into on the 15-minute and then break out. So I did get the alert at 3 a.m. and I checked, and I had this little box here. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to wait for it to do what it does, break out above the box and then above the blue line. It didn't do that. It ended up breaking down here, made a new range, and then so on and so on and so on. Finally, I did get an alert when it broke and closed above. So it was basically here, right? So if I go on bar replay, just so I can show you in real time. So my alert was pinged here. So I was looking at the markets here. So of course it hits our criteria, and because this was the range that was waiting for it to break out above, which it does. Then it breaks above the blue line, which is perfect. So remember, from what I've seen, I know it didn't happen here, which is funny, but from what I've seen, most of the time it does have a pullback. So instead of it doing this and just going straight to TP, it normally does something like this, pull back, this, a little bit like that, and then I see it take off, right? So what I did was, because I didn't want to enter on this because the risk to reward wasn't as good if I was to do that there. And then TP was here, less than a 1-to-1. So I didn't want to do that. That's why I bring it back down to the blue line. And then, it didn't happen on this one. We could see it carries on. And then at one point it had quite a big pullback, which is this candlestick. And I was waiting for one more red candlestick to tap me in. But then it never really did that, and it just kind of exploded up. Now, on the demo account, because I want to be testing and tracking to see if I'm able to catch these scalps as well. If so, I'll start trading that with another account. But on the scalping side, let's go back again to... So once again, what we're waiting for is we're waiting for the London and New York session overlap to happen. And then the first candlestick, we're going to wait to see if it breaks any ranges, right? So this is the first one. And I know it looks very... It's a funny one to kind of look at because look at the stick. It's like... This is all wick. Literally 95% this is wick on the bottom and at the top. But technically, it did break. Let's use this. It did break and close above this level here, which is going to be the black line, right? So what we're waiting for is it to, just literally just go below this black line and then break out, then, carry on pushing up. So what I did was let me get rid of this. I had, where is this? Yeah, so when where was it? So I was late to this, right? And to be honest, actually, hold on. Let me go back again. So 1 minute. Let me get the exact candlestick that we're looking for. Yeah, so the vertical dotted line, so which is here. So boom, right? So I actually messed up on this because if I had seen this when I was supposed to, right? I'm gonna talk about my discipline because I need to work on that because I've noticed I've been missing trades because I wasn't watching the charts the way I should have been, or I didn't have the alerts where they were supposed to be, right? So I'm like a couple minutes too late and I'm missing a really good trade. So on the scalping side, I remember I saw it when it was already taken off. I saw it like when it was up here. Same principle. I didn't want to take the scalp all the way up here. And with scalp, the spread, it pushes you up. It'll probably even enter you somewhere up here. And then, your stop loss is going to be down here. So, same principle. What I did was, I thought, okay, it's going to pull back to like here-ish. And then, that's going to give me way better risk to reward. So to be exact, my actual idea was here, this one here. Hold on, let me move this. So this is what I was waiting for. I don't know if this has been messed up with. So yeah, so I probably saw it when it was up here because technically it would have pinged me in there. So I was quite late to it once again. And then I was like, okay, it's gonna come back. Yeah, I must have seen it really, really late because it didn't ping me in at any of these points. Matter of fact, let me double check because let me double check. Yeah, no entry. I still have my limit order placed there. So I think it was probably all the way up here, and it never came back to where I needed it to, which was here. Yes, this is really frustrating to see because if I was on it the way I should have been on it, I would have had... Hold on a minute. I think this has been tampered with. My entry, I had it back around here. That's why it never got hit, right? Now, of course, in hindsight, you know, what we're looking for on the scalping side is we're waiting for it to go below the black line. Don't know if you can still see the black line. Let me make it a little bit bigger. So waiting for it to go below the black line after the dotted horizontal, which is here. So it happens here straight away, and then right as it breaks and closes above, we could have got still a pretty good entry here on the 1 minute. Stop loss here, give it like maybe a pip because, you know, we're scalping, and then, you know, we have our TP set up here, which is close to 1 to 3 on a scalp, which obviously we know it ended up flying through that TP. I think we'll just carry on going. And then the rest of these never really panned out. So just looking over this, I know the biggest thing I need to work on is setting better alerts, watching the charts better, and just being a lot more attentive. Because, you know, I had 2 opportunities today where I could have got back that loss and just, you know, finished today on a really nice green day, you know. So you know, I caught this one. I was a little bit too early, but then if I was ready, I would have caught this one. I know a lot of people did catch this one. And then even with gold, once again, I could have caught it on the scalping side, right? And then even on the 15-minute. Sorry, did I even talk about the 15-minute entry? I did, right? 15-minute, you know, we could have still caught this after it closed above, which would have been here. Yeah. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be having my laptop on. Basically, it's gonna be open and it's gonna be on, and I'm gonna have the alerts on the laptop as well. Just because for my phone, sometimes some alerts don't get notified on my phone, or I get the notification like 30 minutes late for some reason. So I'm gonna be using my laptop, and I'm just gonna make sure that, okay, for example, even if I do get taken out, my rule is I take 2 trades maximum per day. So still having the alerts on that trade just in case there is another second entry, which normally there is another second entry if the first CCT kind of like takes you out. So yeah, that's it for today. I know quite a lot of people probably did catch this trade and maybe even gold. But yeah, let's see how tomorrow goes. And yeah, God bless to everyone, and